Today, I want to talk to you about something that is true and dear to my heart. Being a parent of a toddler and have gone through the toddler stage 3 times, each time being a working mom, a mom of being a friend, as well as a mom being in school. When things get busy, we all need time to ourselves or time with our significant other, things to focus on. We have toddlers who wants our attention. We need to come back ways to get over that, right? What is our number one kryptonite? Screen time. Toddlers love screen time. All you have to do is give your toddler a phone, throw YouTube on, some type of streaming network, and the toddlers are going to be just like this. Everyone knows that this is called screen time and it's huge in our society. If you've ever been around a toddler, you know how quickly they get hooked on screens. Whether it's an iPad, an iPhone, a smartphone, a big screen TV. Once they start watching, it's game over. Good luck getting that tablet back without hesitation. Now, don't get me wrong, technology is not all bad. I wouldn't be studying it if that was the case. A little bit of screen time can be fun and even educational. But the real question is, are we thinking about ethics of giving so much screen time and exposure to toddlers? Today, I want to break down this into three big ethical concerns, okay? Is all screen time actually good for the kids? Are tech companies doing the right thing when they make apps and shows for toddlers? Should there be better rules to protect kids from unhealthy habits? Let's get into it, okay? Because this is my favorite topic at this time. I'm in school, and sometimes I come home from work after a busy day, and I find myself handing my toddler her tablet because mommy needs mommy time, and I need you to do something so that I can do what I need to do. It's called babysitting, screen babysitting. Well, the crazy part is, how do kids even know how to ask for these things without being able to talk? Because we're talking about toddlers here. Let's be real. Screens are everywhere. Back in my day, kids had to sit in front of a TV at a certain time to watch cartoons. Now, a 2-year-old can pull up YouTube on a tablet before they even know how to talk. One day I want to get into how are they able to recognize what it is without reading. But anywho, we're going to talk about computer ethics today. Now, the crazy part about it, experts say that kids under 2 shouldn't have any screen time at all, except for video calls. Kids between 2 and 5 should have 1 hour max per day, as my pediatrician told me for my child. But do you know what's actually happening? Studies show that a lot of toddlers are watching 2, 3, 5 hours of screen time per day. Sound that bad, right? Especially when you think of kids being in school on Chromebooks or distant learning and watching lectures. But for a smaller child, that's not too healthy. But the problem is, it's not just about having too much time, it's about how the time is being spent and what it's doing to their brains. Issue number one, is screen time hurting kids? Let's get into that too. Research says not really. Too much screen time have been linked to things like shorter attention spans. You ever notice how kids get super impatient and bored really when they're not watching a screen? Something to think about. Sometimes screen time can cause delayed speech because kids learn language by talking to real people, not by watching cartoons. So you would think. Less creativity and problem solving could also happen when kids spend too much time being entertained. They don't get enough chance to use their own imagination. Hmm, why would they use their own when they're getting it from a screen right in front of them? This is not just about kids zoning out on their tablets. Even the way TV shows are designed can be a problem. Here's an example, okay? Excuse me, everyone. Where was I? So I was in the middle of saying how sick of the screen time. I'm a pretty busy parent. Um, let's pause that. Okay, everyone, I'm back. So let's jump back into it. Earlier, we were speaking about kids not having their own imagination. So this isn't just about kids zoning out on their tablets. Even the way TV shows are designed can be a problem. Example, TV shows and fast-paced editing. Have you ever watched old school kid shows like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? The scenes were slow, conversations were calm, and it gave kids time to process what was happening. Now, compared to today's shows, you got flashing lights, you got quick cuts, you got a new scene every second. Shows like Coco Melon have been criticized for being too fast paced and too overstimulating for young kids, making real life interactions seem boring in comparison. This, ra- this raises a huge ethical concern. Should TV shows and networks and streaming services be required to design shows that support healthy brain development instead of just having kids hooked? My opinion, absolutely. Another issue that tech companies should be doing the right thing. Let's talk about the people making this content, right? Tech companies, the app developers, and even TV networks. It's no secret that these companies want one thing to keep kids watching. Apps and streaming services uses things like autopay. Play keeps kids watching because it keeps going. Bright colors and catchy music that gets the kids hooked. Everyone loves a catchy beat, right? Never ending scrolling. Kids keep watching just one more episode, then another episode, then another episode. And do not get me started on YouTube Kids. You think an app made just for kids will be totally safe, right? No, there are all kinds of weird and inappropriate videos being snuck into the platform, right? So let me give you an example. TV manufacturers and built-in limitations. Now, here's something that should be happening, but it isn't. Why don't smart TVs come with automatic screen time limits for kids? You would think it would, but it don't. Think about it. TV manufacturers could easily build a setting that limits how long kids can watch these shows. However, before the TV automatically pauses, it'll say, time for a break. No, that's only in a perfect world. Instead, streaming platforms autoplay the next episode so that kids can get glued to the screen. Hmm, that's not by accident, that is by design. So, here's another ethical question. Should companies be required to build built in limits for kids? I say yes. Of course, because I'm a parent, right? That cares about her kids' brain development. Just like we have parental controls for content, we should have built in screen controls for encouraging healthy habits. Another issue is protecting kids' privacy. Now, here's one I bet you have not thought about, and it kind of freaks me out. Kid apps collecting data. On what, you may ask? Did you know that some apps are designed for toddlers to track what they click on, how long they watch, and even their location? Mind blowing. Yeah, I know. Why does a toddler's app need to know where they are? It doesn't. But companies collect data anyway so that they can use it for advertising and for other creepy reasons. Let's just be real here and put that out there. Thankfully, we have laws like COPA, which is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. It's supposed to limit data collection from kids under 13. However, here's the problem companies still find loopholes. I'm going to give you an example. Disney's app, if everybody knows it, it's a little blue and white app that you can watch movies on. A few years ago, they got in trouble because the app was secretly collecting data on kids without parental consent. Of course, they ended up being sued, but how many other apps are doing these things to the kids? Who knows? They just have not gotten caught. So here's the big ethical question. Should there be stricter rules to protect kids from having their data collected? 100% yes. Of course. But what is the solution? All right, we know the problems, but what can we do? There are at least three ethical solutions that I can think of. Let's say the parents set the time limits. I get it. Screens are easy. Trust me when I tell you, I'm guilty of screen time, being abused. But kids need a balance of real life play, face to face interactions, even outdoor time. Get those bones moving. Tech companies need to be held reliable as well. We need better regulations that stop companies from designing addictive content and collecting unnecessary data on the toddlers. TV manufacturers and streaming platforms need built in time limits. Just like parental controls for content, we need automatic screen time limits to encourage healthy habits. Now, my final thoughts on this, are we doing the right thing? At the end of the day, it's all one big question. Are we setting kids up for healthy relationships with technology, or are we letting companies take advantage of them? Now, many parents may be wondering, are you setting your kids up doing the right thing by using technology? Now, I want to dig more into the role of the parents, right? So, are we using screens as a crutch? I will be honest with myself and say yes. It makes it easy for me. It makes it easy for a lot of parents. Let's say you're at a restaurant, your toddler's screaming. The easiest way to get 5 minutes of peace, hand them a phone. Of course, it's a long day. Turn on some Coco Melon, turn on Blimpy, all the cool shows that gets kids' attention. I get it. I'm not saying parents shouldn't ever use screens to entertain their kids. Sometimes you just need a break. But this is where it gets tricky. Are we relying on it too much as a crutch? Let's be honest, we know the answer to this already. If screens became our go to solution for every meltdown, every car ride, every moment of boredom, kids will not learn how to self regulate their emotions or handle boredom in a healthy way. Think about it. When we were kids, if we were bored, we had to make up a board game, make up a game, play card games, use our imagination, go outside and play in sports, get on the swing set, go pester our brothers and sisters, play makeup, dress up, whatever you came up with. Something creative that you had to come up with. Today, if the kids get bored, they just pull out their phone, pull out a tablet, even pull out a game. Yes, we have 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds who are flawless at playing games like Roblox. Even some kids play GTA, and we all know what GTA is. Our kids shouldn't know, but they know. That's when it gets borderline ridiculous. But today, you know, that's what kids got. We're not going outside playing with kids anymore. Kids have screens. But what happens when screens are taken away? You ever seen a toddler completely lose their mind when you take a tablet away? That's because they've learned to depend on it. Instead of developing patience and problem solving skills, they just expect instant entertainment. What happens when they don't get it? Boom, meltdown. You don't see the ethical problem with that? We as adults, we're setting kids up for failure. Using screens is an easy way to manage behavior, right? Right. It shouldn't. However, maybe instead of automatically handing over the screen, we should be teaching kids how to play without a screen. Let them get into sports, let them get into tumbling, let them just go outside playing grass and create their own game, right? Encourage real social interaction skills. Let them go to a park and play with the kids that are at the park. At the end of the day, toddlers don't need more screen time, they need real world experiences. And let's not forget another key factor, screens can hurt the eyes. Why do kids have so many needs for glasses? At some point, the autofocusing on screens have ruined their eyesight. So, just to wrap it up today, I believe that companies should have ethical responsibilities for screen time in the way they track kids' locations, track kids' thoughts, and track kids' brain development by making them focus on their screens. Making kids addicted to screens is not healthy just because you can make $1 from it, just because you get money off of streaming, just because you get more views you get more money by how many views you get. We got to do better as a society, and I feel like companies should assist in doing better for these children. Have a great day, and I hope you enjoy it.